Okay, I think we're good to go. Hey everybody, Debo here, and this is, I do believe, the third log of the season so far. Uh, is today Friday? Yeah, today's Friday. So 4 hours from now will be 1 week since the season started. At least for North America. I know if you're on Asia or Europe, things are a lot different. Not too much has changed really. Well, the only thing that's interesting is just that the meta for the four-person group play has went from, like, one monk, one barbarian, one witch doctor. Then you usually bring in another monk or another barbarian, two, three barbarians and one monk. This is going to be a little bit weird if that ends up being the meta, because you think about it, even when they had the witch doctor, and they had it to the point where the witch doctors and stuff like that. One second, my friend's messaging me. Um, Even with the zero cooldown or the perma stun or the perma fear witch doctor, which I don't agree with. Still, I don't think they should have had perma fear or anything like that. Um, it was always one witch doctor, one crusader, one DH, and then you might take on a mage or you might bring another DH. But if you brought both DHs and then one witch doctor, one crusader, then it's what I think it's what 3 classes out of 6, which is not the greatest, but okay. And then if you took one wizard, one witch doctor, one DH, and one crusader, then you could be like, oh, okay, well, that's 4 out of 6 classes that are being represented, and that's pretty decent. That's cool. But currently, right now, if it does end up being 3 barbarians and a monk, out of 4-person group, you have one a class that occurs 3 times. Then you have one monk, and that's it. And then you just have 5 other classes, or I'm sorry, 4 other classes that have no relevance. Let me make sure I got this correct: Witch Doctor, Wizard, Crusader, Barbarian, Demon Hunter, Monk. Okay, I'm good. 6 classes. So it's not gonna be fixed this season because the game is the way it is, unless somebody discovers some new meta and some shit. But basically, I think for group play at least, for this week. Or this season, we're kind of fucked just to having only 2 classes be viable for it. Now, I'm not saying a witch doctor or a wizard or a DH can't be included to a 4-man party, but I'm pretty sure as time goes on, because we got a 4-month season, things are going to change dramatically and things are going to be a lot different. Um, so just in general, I think group play is going to be interesting to keep an eye on for this season, because it's either going to go get worse or it might improve itself a little bit better a little bit later on, and we're just going to have to personally wait to see what happens. And I guess that just is what it is, unfortunately. But I hope Blizzard gets it, because the big thing Blizzard always says is they don't want to bounce around Greater Rift systems and make things balanced, and they just want people to have fun. It's true, but no one's gonna have fun when you want to push your character to the next level, and people are telling you in groups that you know barbarian, triple barb, and a monk is the way to go. Because you think about it, right? If group play is the most dominant playing game to get ahead in seasons and tournament experience and everything like that, and Blizzard think it's a fantastic idea to put so much emphasis on the groups, then you have to balance the groups. Then you have to make sure, hopefully, the best group composition has one of each, one class, like one this, one this, one this, one this. So you have 4 different classes out of the 6. At least try to, or at least 3, because now you only have 2 classes occurring. Now it's just basically barbarian and monks. What people might actually start doing to progress their other characters, they might start rolling a barbarian or monk just so they can get to high level, push their gyms to high level, and get things done. And then after that, switch back to their regular character they want to play. I mean, it's kind of weird if you go off and you play a barbarian or a monk just so you can gear up your witch doctor or gear up your wizard or your DH. It just doesn't make any sense. Or gear up your crusader. Really weird. So the way that Blizzard has that design is just going to create a future problem. Now, some people might say, well, Deepa, you always bring up problems. Look, the only reason I'm just pointing this stuff out is because I want the game to improve. I want things to be better. But if you're going to make a focus of the groups, like we need to get all our shit done with groups, that's the big thing. You know what I'm saying? Then you need to give us some options on what we could use as players and what we can actually do. Because we have to be in groups to get effective shit done. Now, you don't necessarily have to, but if you're playing seasons and you want to involve yourself and you want to get things done in the most efficient way, it's in a group. You can't roll 2 people or 3 people or 1 people. And if you really want to maximize this group potential, it's running 3 barbarians and a monk, or double monk, double barbarian, and that's just how it is, and that's only 2 out of the 6. So like I said, if they don't fix it, I think this is going to be a long-term problem, but who knows, maybe they'll get it fixed by next season. At least that's the way I see it. So the grouping system looks like it's going to get a lot worse. I hope they fix itself. We could take a look at the group situation on PTR, or not PTR, I keep saying PTR, Season 4. If we look at the 4-player groups, let's take a look here, because people will always want to try to do the newest next level shit. Yeah, see? 2 monks, 2 barbarian. Yeah, see, this is pretty nice. We got a nice witch doctor here. They did 73. 2 monks, 1 barbarian, and a witch doctor. That's good to see. But, I mean, as you can see, okay, you got a witch doctor there. But, see, the big occurrences is just monks and barbarians. And once they start seeing what the EU people and other people start pushing the next level, as you can see, it's just, you see a couple witch doctors here and there. And that's because we do really good at 67. But you kind of see how this is kind of going and how the balance is. This is, I don't mind if it's like 3 different classes, but when only 2 classes seem to represent, like, the makings of some shit, that's crazy. Now, some people might say, oh, well, you know, this guy got the 73, and I mean, these guys got the 75, right? So when people start wanting to be competitive and, you know, one-up each other, they're just going to start copying each other, and then, you know, one group comes through with 3 barbs and 1 monk, and they're doing 76 or something, or close to 80, everybody's going to do that because you want your gyms at high level. You want to get your gyms to that point. You want to get your gyms high level so people can go back and do solo. So this is going to be a future problem. We'll just have to wait out and see how this is going to be handled by Blizzard. I think they kind of dropped the ball on that, because I mean, at least with the permafear and everything, you had one, like I said, 1 crusader, 1 witch doctor, and then you had 2 demon hunters, or a demon hunter and a mage. You know, so yeah, it's looking the same way. And then for 2s, I wonder what 2s is. 2s might be a little bit different, because 2s you can be a little flexible now. That's just, yeah. So it looks like it's going to be monk and barbs this season. I don't know how that happened. But that's pretty sad for group play. Now for solo play, Witch Doctor is actually, I think, on the top right now. 60, oh, at least on EU I know it is. But we got a 66 Witch Doctor. For Barbarian, what do we got? 67, so Barbarians are up there. Crusader needs some love, 62. Demon Hunter, 62. Demon Hunter needs probably a little bit of love. Monk is 67. So 67. I heard the highest rank in the world is a witch doctor right now, but I could be wrong. But, you know, in terms of soloness, Barb, witch doctor, and monk all seem to be in a line, which means they either have to tone them down or look at the other classes that need help. So that's going to be definitely interesting. But, I mean, outside of all that, I mean, that's pretty much going on with the rankings and stuff like that. It's going to be real interesting weeks from now when people keep pushing levels and wanting to get their gyms higher and stuff, and that's going to be very interesting based on what happens. My Witch Doctor's coming along okay. I've been able to perfect out the Angry Chicken even more. Finally got the legendary pants. It's just need to get the chest and the shoulders. Got this wonderful Squirts necklace, critical percent chance, critical damage, and cooldown reduction. And I need an ancient helmet, and the bracers are okay, and better focus and restraint, you know, or better focus. So I might be grinding that out today and seeing if I can get a better focus ring, because that would be good also for my carnival build. I got my Zuni Monster stuff coming along here. I got my Steady Strikers ready. I need to get these ancient, or get a, you know, Lacunis. Dagger Darts ancient, that's looking good. I need a better drum or carnival, because both these are pretty shit, and if I have to wear the other one, it's just gonna suck. An okay necklace to use with that. I got the ancient boots. Gloves could be a lot better. I'm looking for that. This actually would be very good, but critical area damage is not working well, so I'm probably going to start working on my Zuni Masa pieces a lot more. Start getting them all ancient, because I'm going to try to push the season high as I can with Carnival, because I know when they fix the area damage, that'll be something. And then, of course, I am keeping a backup Helltooth set that actually has some okay pieces of ancient so far. I just kind of collect them and I throw them inside the stash, so... I think the highest one I did is like 51. I'm not too much worried about the ranking right now. I'm just trying to get my Paragon levels up and go from there. Yeah, I think the highest I did was 50. Yeah, 50. So for me, I'm just trying to get myself grinded up. If you want to play some Witch Doctor, it seems like 59 out of 1,000. That's just basically because a shit ton of people are playing Witch Doctor now. So 65 seems to put you in top 10, right? No, top 15. So yeah, at this point, I always tell people, focus getting your Paragon, focus getting your items set up. Don't worry too much about what everybody else is doing, because you got 4 months. This started in what? we'll just say September. Even though it's started beginning of August. You got September, October, November, December. That's 4 months. You got plenty of time. And, a lot of people are going to drop out. Not a lot of people are going to maintain. If you just keep playing on a regular basis and you keep getting better and better gear and equipping this and just pushing onward, you'll be fine. And you'll be able to get to the levels that you need to do for your character, and you'll be fine. A lot of people get so caught up, what's the best build, what's this, just farm. Farm, get your death breath, get all your items, try to get all your major set, figure out what set you want to push, figure if you want to go push Carnival, you want to push Helltooth, and then, get all the ancient pieces for that, get the ancient legendaries, get all that, and get all that squared away, and once you have all the gear set up and you have a decent amount of paragons, then you start making your pushings, and you start pushing towards higher level. And then what you do is once you start pushing towards higher level, then what you do is start getting all your gems up to level 60 or high end levels. And then once you hit like that roadblock or whatever and you can't push up any higher, then you might want to look into doing groups to get all your gems up to 75 or whatever. Let's just say groups end up being 80 this season, right? Well, in all honesty, you won't be able to get your gems up to level 80 unless you're playing a certain type of class combination. So I guess the real serious people will just make a monk or a barbarian. I don't think I would do that. Make a monk or barbarian just so I can, push my gems up to the highest of levels so I can use that for solo. But, I mean, it's kind of whack, but it is what it is. But I figure Witch Doctor should be able to at least get up to level 70 in groups. So then you can basically get your gems all up to level 70, which would be fine. And then just ride it out. But, it's you got 4 months. There's no reason to rush. It's a marathon. Play it consistently and always be working on new goals and new gains for your character, and you should be able to be fine by the end of the season. Outside of all that, man, nothing really has been talked about too much in the forums. I know they hotfixed a couple of bounties, I think maybe because they weren't working right. And, it's really not much, there's not much that people are talking about. They're talking about the same things, certain things they don't like, and how they're not enjoying seasons because of group disparity and the regular stuff. But I imagine in another week or two, people are going to start really opening their eyes with the whole group composition things, and people are going to start freaking out when they realize, the only way to really push really higher risks is just to be rolling Barb or Monk, and that's when people will start to get mad. Rightfully so, because when only 2 classes occur in group the most, out of 6 classes, and Blizzard says that the group play, they like it and they want that to be the predominant way where people get geared up or situated. I mean, it's going to cause a problem. If this had 3 classes or even 4 classes being represented in the 4-man groups, it wouldn't be that bad. But when only 2 classes greatly occur, that's when the problem's going to happen. You see a couple splashes of Witch Doctor here and there, but I think as the season goes on, that's going to be pushed off the leaderboard, but we'll see. Anyways, man, hope you guys like this vlog. It's number 3. Like I said, I try to do this every 2 days, because usually 2 days gives us something to talk about or whatever. But as always, if anything crazy happens between now and tomorrow, or the night before the next 2 days is up, I will make another video. But good luck in you guys' seasons. Hope everything's going well. And remember, don't rush everything. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. And the only time you should do that is like if you're doing your own research to figure out what's the most efficient thing. And just keep playing consistently and often, and you'll be fine. Don't get caught up in the craziness, and don't burn yourself out, because if you burn yourself out, you're not going to play anymore. Anyways, I'm Debo. If you guys need help or carry runs, join the SPS Debo community on North America. And we'll be more than welcome to have you. We're always running groups and stuff like that. If you guys got any questions, head over to Twitch. I'll be streaming, I stream every day, 8 hours. So come by, ask questions. We don't mind. Or you can just stay by and just enjoy yourself. We usually talk about some interesting stuff in the channel. But anyways, I want to get out of here because I think we're pushing about 15 minutes. So see you guys later. Take it easy.